Matthew 15, verse 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Call law Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. The bondage to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the whole like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth without sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And also shalom to you very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting in order in these last days. I know brother I'm one coming to the video low and edifying to the point. Right, but this is a quick video. It just showing you the double-mindedness of the camp of IUIC, man. You know, because what they're doing, they're
you with us?
Really
Yeah.
doing what they're doing is a dangerous game. You know, and we speak heavy about teaching the name of our power, right? Yahweh is the Heavenly Father name. Yahweh Shai is who the word incorrectly called Jesus Christ. And one thing with IUIC is that they don't like to push the name, right? But in this video, you finna hear, you gonna laugh, man, because in this video, this sister doesn't have a Hebrew name. And this guy asks her, we got to get you a Hebrew name. So isn't it crazy that you don't push Yahweh Shai, don't push his name in Hebrew, but y'all push to everybody around you to have a Hebrew name? You know, and this is why we constantly do videos on this camp, because it's they got a lot of blood on their hands and they're leading a lot of people into a ditch, right? And ultimately, it's just, hey, the Lord don't need 2/3, 2/3 of our people, but we know sincerely that we will have the hopefully elect, scattered through various camps. We know the elect is going to be scattered inside camps like IUIC. That's why it's important we must make these videos so you can come out of that deep sleep, that slumber, because for him to say, you don't have a Hebrew name, you need to get you a Hebrew name. Well, y'all don't even teach the name of the Lord. And that's key. That's key. Right, so I'm going to play this clip and grab these other scriptures. And Lord, when it's edifying until you people that's watching IUIC, this is high time to leave that camp alone, man. Because that camp do not have it, right? That camp is literally leading you to destruction.
Okay, all praise. So I'll see you at the Sabbath tomorrow. Lord's will? Yes, ma'am. How are you? What's your name?
Sandra.
Sandra?
Sister Sandra.
Sister Sandra? Do you have a Hebrew name yet? Are you working on it? Okay. 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 All praises. All praises. All praises. All praise to the Most High. I'm glad to see you, Sister Sandra. Lord's will, you have a Hebrew name soon. Choose a beautiful name. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we take a picture.
Look how you're laughing at me.
Hey, somebody take a picture of me and Sister Sandra real quick. I'll get the brother to take a picture, sis.
God is power. God is showing us to be special.
I'll get the brother to take a picture for it. They're going to take a picture for us. Use our camera.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I got you.
Okay. Don't leave, stay.
You got you. That is us.
That's it right there. Put on portrait.
Shalom.
Right, and that lady, you could tell she's sincere, that she's trying to find a way, but just the reality to it, hey, if you come across this video, hey, watching them is not the way, just being real, but like I said, this camp has a lot of blood on their hands, man. You asking her about a Hebrew name, and you don't even teach the Hebrew of the power. If that lady to ask you what's the our power name, you really gonna be confident and say Christ, right? You can tell they in South America, Israel Unido El Cristo, so of course they speaking to a lot of Spanish speaking people, right? But that's what they're gonna give that man. They're gonna give the name of Cristo instead of Yahweh Shai, right? That's why we say, you fall in this camp, you're gonna fall into a ditch with them. right? Zechariah 13:8. 2/3 gonna be cut off. You know, and it was gonna be a lot of me help. Slakia. A lot of them going to be cut off, right? Because a lot of them going to be right within the circumcision, right? They still want to go with the flow of these false camps. You know, so they must get put down. You know, that's just what it is, right? So I have some more scriptures I want to just bring out that, you know, for one of the brothers had posted it on social media, and there's a couple of scriptures in there I wanted to grab. Right, because it's heavy. It's really key. I mean, scriptures talk about the name of the Lord constantly throughout the scriptures, man. You know, and these people do not even mention. They really downplay the name. They really downplay the Lord's name. This is the book of Psalms, 124. Excuse me. It's like in verse 8. Right, it says, "Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth." Right, so how you trying to lead these folks to salvation? You can't get these folks step one. Give them the name. The name alone is going to get you further down the road, man. You know, they'll try to sit here and Deuteronomy 28 you to death. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with breaking down Deuteronomy 28. You know, but what's the name of the Lord? That's number one question. What's the name of the Lord? Right? 'Cause now you woke up, you know, Esau's the white man. You know, that when you put that Jesus is just going to see a white man. You know. So what's the name? Because you pull up, like I said, that Cristo, you're going to see, you're not going to see Revelation 1:14. You know, which I can, you know, grab for edification's sake. Right, it says, "His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters." See, that's the thing about it, because once you go into you got to start digging even deeper, right? Because now we know that Cristo is not the same image as Revelation 1:14 verse 15 through verse 15. You know, I'm just pointing out, you know, the confusion, you know, that this camp is bringing towards the people, man, right? And people flock to them because they have, right? They have a lot of, they got a big congregation, you know, and they don't have no truth. So a lot of people just flock to them. You know, they like to do all these trends, these gimmicks to bring the flock in instead of just teaching the people the truth, right? And they go to show that they up under a 501c3, right? They getting paid to do so, right? It was Proverbs 30:4. And these are the questions that you should be asking this camp, right? Because he's saying we should hear back from you should hear your Hebrew name soon. You know, pick a beautiful one. You know, so why is you promoting that, but you're not promoting Yahweh Shah? You know, right? And that's how you know, and that's the foundation. That's how you know everything they build on top of that is off. You know, it says, Proverbs 30:4, "Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended, who have gathered the wind in his fist, who have bound the waters in garment." Slakia. Read that from the top. "Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended, who have gathered the wind in his fist, who have bound the waters in a garment, who have established all the ends of the earth. What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou can tell?" And that's a question for IUIC. What's the name? You know, man, you already know this. Hey, man, Acts. Four and 12, yeah. Call Allah Yabashim Shah. I just threw like the biggest blank. Right? Hey, this is the book of Acts 4 and 12. Man, I read both versions. Neither is there salvation in any other, right? Any other name, right? These other false idols. There's no salvation inside that name, right? You know, when you break down Yahweh Shai, it means he delivers. Yah meaning he, right? Washai say delivers. You know, it's power within the names. You know, Yahweh, he exists. Right? It ain't no life inside Christo. You know? It says, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So, you know, just the confusion, like I said, he's talking about come to the Sabbaths and man, look, listen, these folks just leading you to a pit. Right? And the last one was Joel 2 and 32. You know, and it's Lord willing, you know, it's making sense. I'm just bringing out the point that how is that these folks trying to ask this lady, Sister Sandra, about a Hebrew name, and you don't even teach the Hebrew name of the power. Right? This is the book of Joel 2 and 32. See, that's why I try going slow, because I know it's going to hate on me. Try it again. Right? It says, and it shall come, Joel 2 and 32. It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, right? Through his only begotten Son Yahweh Shaka, that's who's coming to deliver us. Lord willing, we are part of the hopefully elect remnant, right? We're part of that remnant. It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, through his only begotten Son Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Right. So in the beginning of it, right, who shall call on the name, right, and deep down, man, them niggas know Christo, Jesus, that is not the name. They know that, man. But they get paid to teach lies, right? And it's going to catch up to them. You know, it's going to catch up to them. So, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give out honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashem Kakadash. Shalom.